Today's episode of In the Trenches is brought to you by System 12 Guitar Method. Sign up today at ryanroxie.com.
In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
Hello, and welcome to another, not just another, a very historic episode of In the Trenches. I am your host, Ryan Roxie. What is happening? Well, guess what? This is historical because it's the first time that our producer, Vic Chalfant, and I have been together in a studio. Well, we call it a studio, but it might just be a hotel room. You never know. But we're doing our first episode together, not on Zoom, not on video, not on StreamYard. It's all together as one with our special guest today. So if this is the first time you've been checking us out, and you are checking us out on our YouTube official channel, it is Ryan Roxie Official. Hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to us on audio, get your way over to the video YouTube channel because we want you to subscribe. We want you to be in the live chat because that's where all the action happens right now. Because we do have the live chat, and today our special guests have been the band that we've been touring with, right? You know that Alice Cooper, Ace Frehley have been out on the road for the last couple months. We've done a lot of shows in a very short amount of time, and we are sort of winding it down. So I had to get these guys out. Not only do they play with Ace Frehley, but they also play with Gene Simmons. So we're going to talk about all those things. But most of all, what's this episode about? It is the Guitar Roundtable, because everybody sitting in this room today plays a bit of guitar, including our producer, Vic Chalfant. And we are going to introduce these guys in just a second. We have a 3-camera shoot. Again, if you're listening to us only on audio, get over to the YouTube official live channel, hit that subscribe button, and let's kick off the Guitar Roundtable because this is the Nashville 3. Thank you, Night Bob, for donating them that, because that's what I will refer to them as, the Nashville 3. I'm talking about Jeremy Asbrock, Ryan Cook, and Philip Shouse. I got all their names right, didn't I, guys?
You did. Sure did.
Let's talk to the Nashville 3. Welcome to In the Trenches Guitar Roundtable. Let's go. Woo. Hey. Wow, how professional was that? First of all, this is the first.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Thanks, Ryan, for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So how does it feel to be part of the cheers, Vic. What's going on?
Respect it.
How does it feel to be part of our first historical actual in-house podcast?
Well, I think it's historical and it's historical as well. So I won't do that voice the whole time. I'm just kidding.
You were doing it a lot last night on our
We have a
post-show presser.
we have a little chart hashtag thing. We'll see how many times he does it. That was
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, is that only because your big picture goal is to play in Paul Stanley's backup band as well, so you can hit the whole trifecta?
So we got Paul and Peter left, I guess.
That's right. That's right.
Those are going to
We
happen.
got Paul and Peter left. This thing about being the Nashville 3. Were you guys ever called the Nashville 3 before?
Night Bob.
Not
Night Bob
before
is the
Night
only
Bob.
person that pretty much calls us that.
Yeah.
Well, and
So from this point forward, we're
from
gonna.
this
it's
point
good. I
forward,
like
it's the
it.
Nashville 3.
We'll take it.
I love it.
We'll
It's a
take
great thing. And Night Bob was a guest just recently on In the Trenches. If you want to go check out an older episode of that, please do hit that subscribe button and check out all things In the Trenches, because now it is time for our main event. And it revolves around letting the people speak. So, Vic, let the people speak. So we begin our Guitar Roundtable. These are questions that came in all week. Yeah, and don't hit the wine. Tommy would be very, very upset if we knocked that bottle of wine over.
Hey, what are you doing?
What do you mean?
doing?
Don't hit the
Really
wine.
good
Don't hit the fucking wine. Hit the wine.
Give me the wine.
Tommy should be here. He's in the guitar. He's in the guitar world of our Guitar Roundtable, but he's too busy producing new kung fu videos after his
He is. man.
breakout
saw that.
performance. It's
That was
gone
really
amazing.
good.
It's gone
Really
completely.
good.
That is a big Ragu production.
It is,
But
yeah.
that's a whole nother story.
Right.
It's the Guitar Roundtable In the Trenches episode. historical. We're all in one room. Hopefully the video is working. If it's not, and you don't hear too much of an air conditioning, but if you don't, hey, you're watching for free. That's good.
That's right.
Our first question is coming from Tech Chan 711.
I went to high school with Tech Chan 711. How's he doing?
I went to high school with Tech Chan 707.
Oh, that's
777.
I got those 4 ahead. How often do you practice every day? Who should we field this question to? Because it probably is different, varies, or is it all 0?
When I get so I've got I play guitar and Accept as well. So when I get home, I got an Accept show November 5th. So I'll be practicing for the Accept show. But daily, I don't really practice.
Because you usually have shows, or you're practicing for an upcoming tour?
You're right.
Are you still
same? I only practice for what I have coming up. I really don't just sit around and practice. Now, I'll sit around and play sometimes, but you know, just like any of us, you just play. You're not like, I'm practicing.
Yeah.
Ryan Cook?
You just pick it up. There's one in every room in our house, right? All of us. Here's what I've learned. I don't practice as much as I get ready to go through songs for the upcoming gig. And when I have to do songs for a new gig, as the years go by, I feel like when I bring a new tune in, it kicks an old one out of my head.
Your head only has enough room for a certain amount of songs.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think
I think that's the same with everything. Like with names, I'm very. It's hard for me. It's difficult for me to remember names. I get faces, yes, but then I can remember song lyrics from like the first Cheap Trick album.
Yep.
That was released in '77.
Absolutely.
So that's where I've allocated that memory for that. Yeah. But as far as practice, I'm practicing 3 hours a day every single day until my fingers bleed. That's just no.
That's part of the course, right?
Obviously, if you come to an Alice Cooper concert, you'll realize that's quickly not true.
We were kind of wondering what you guys do all day.
They should be practicing. All right, Tech Can 711. We're moving on to AJ Vibes Music. This is a good one for the soloists, and we're all soloists here in the Guitar Roundtable. What are your biggest tips for solo phrasing? I'll go first. Okay. Learn the pentatonic scale.
Absolutely.
There you go. Right?
Absolutely.
Learn other people's solos.
Yep. That's one of my favorite ways, actually, because I play way less. I'm way less of a soloist than you three. But one of my favorite things is always to get started. If you're picking back up, is to go over a solo that you learned from someone else that you really loved. Yeah. And that's just,
I did that with, what was it called, Vic? That thing that I did earlier on Instagram, I was doing the riff, Free Riff Friday. I would go learn some of my classic solos that I loved. And actually one of the solos that I learned note for note verbatim was Snowblind.
I saw it.
Yeah. And we did this for a project coming up called Car Jam 21. And both Phil and I are on Car Jam 21. That's kind of cool. That the fact that we've never jammed together on stage. Well, did we do it at
we did
Nashville?
At Nashville once, residency. Yeah.
Well, that's a question coming up.
There we go. We'll do that later.
But we've only jammed once, but now we made a record together called Car Jam and 21 and Snowblind. And the thing about those, when you relearn someone's solo, you relearn a little bit of you learn something for yourself, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite solo that you have relearned lately?
Well, we don't play solos in the Ace band, so no.
Well put. But can you remember a solo that you've done? Like maybe like hit me with your best. I mean, I don't know. I'm just.
Well, you know what, Ryan?
Foreshadowing, folks. Foreshadowing.
Actually,
how long was
I did learn that solo.
How long was it going to take? How long was it going to take? Was the only question.
All right, here.
That's great.
Folks, we might as well just get it out of the way right now. The whole reason for this guitar roundtable was we wanted to talk about guitarists and favorite guitar players, and for some reason, Jeremy and I, we agree on pretty much everything. I think we both agree. Randy Rhoads, amazing, sure, right? Absolutely. Eddie Van Halen, amazing. So many of the guitar. We had a little round table when the cameras weren't rolling a couple weeks ago when we had the band dinner, and a certain name came up of a guitar player that I really enjoy. And this half, I think, of the room like enjoy his playing.
Yep.
And that half of the room didn't.
Right.
And I'm calling out Neil Giraldo from the Pat Benatar Band because, and I know Jeremy knows the solo better than I do, so hit me with your best shot. But what is the
First
what is
half,
the beef?
Well, it's not a beef. I mean, everybody has taste. I mean, it's
Different
taste.
Different taste.
Generally, the first half of his solos contain some good hooks, and then the second half, I don't know.
So you're the part B.
Nothing personal, Neil. I love your songs.
Dude, Neil Giraldo, I know you're watching right now.
Yes.
But I've been a big fan. I've just always promoted you in every single interview that I've done. I put your names up there, right up there with Brian May, Steve Stevens, Rick Nielsen. Who else did I say? Elliott Easton from the Cars. And these guys were all agreeing with me on every guitar player. It was just Neil a little pushback. And the thing I love about it, they're the band and they're the friends, because when Jeremy stood up and said that, which I thought was very brave to say that, because, Neil Giraldo, it's like,
I know most people like it.
No, everybody likes it.
And look, man, I've done a lot of time in wedding bands and cover bands. I've played that guy's solos millions
That
of
would
times.
be like me saying I don't like Damon Johnson.
Right.
See, you can't say that because everybody loves Damon.
Yeah.
Wait, do you not like him?
I love Damon. But I don't know Neil.
But then when Philip came to his to your aid because he backed him up right away. He goes, I don't like Neil either.
But I talked to, like, one of the next mornings, I talked to Rocco, who's Ace's tech, and I said, you know what? Play me something I haven't heard. And it was Passions in the
Promises in the Dark.
That one.
Promises in the Dark. Yeah.
And I
That
was
guitar
like,
solo?
okay.
It's rad.
It's like, I get it. And there's that great riff in the middle. And it's like, okay, I got that. It was good.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
I know that I got to hear something else I haven't heard. That was the first thing you played. So
You know what?
gotta say
What's going to happen is Jeremy and Neil are going to end up making an album
A record
together.
together. Yeah, totally,
They're going to
totally.
become best friends. It's going to be like Asbrock, Giraldo.
After he kicks my ass.
Well, I'm glad that we agree on a lot of guitar players. We do. And we're going to have some more questions, but we'll talk more about other guitar players later. But now we're going to talk about specific guitars. K4Y.01. That is a very good one. That's a long one. What's your favorite guitar to play? Your favorite sort of body shape, I guess, would be your favorite guitar?
Les Paul Customs.
There you go.
I didn't start playing Les Pauls until 2013. I always preferred like Firebird, Explorer. I have a Gibson RD, a 77 RD. That's my favorite guitar I own.
Is there a certain reason? Was there a Guitar Hero that played it, or why did you like the Gibson RDs?
It's just a little different. It's comfortable too because it's real curvy. Nobody played them. Like, you don't really associate that guitar with a particular guitar player. So I thought, I'm gonna make that mine. But
because usually you do, right? Usually, I mean, I play Les Pauls partly, in fact, because of the guy you play for Ace Frehley.
Yep.
The reason why I play a Cherry Burst is because I remember in my mind, and I don't know whether it's the Mandela effect, but I remember somewhere in Kiss Alive 1, there was a Cherry Burst Les Paul, and, I want to play that guitar. What about you?
Really love SGs.
SGs.
Yeah, I love them. You can wear them because depending on the guitar is where I wear the guitar on my body. SGs, you can get away with them, wear a little bit higher. It looks kind of cool. And they play great. I just love the easy access up high.
The double cutaway.
Yeah, double cutaways. Yeah, I've always loved SGs.
I love it. I'm going to get individual now. I'm going to get into into the heads of each of the Nashville 3. This is specifically for Ryan Cook.
Okay.
At Brednick _ nothing after that, the underscore. When did Ryan Cook get his first guitar, and what was it?
So my first guitar was an Epiphone acoustic, and my mom decided to play guitar. My dad bought one for her birthday. They both worked 40-hour weeks and took care of 2 kids, and that guitar sat in the closet for 3 years. And right when I got into music and loving Kiss and Aerosmith and Van Halen and Led Zeppelin and all that, I went in the closet and got that guitar, and the strings were skyscrapers off the neck. It was a really cheap.
It
Epiphone
could have been a
guitar.
slide guitar. at
I
that
could
point.
have, oh, easily, yeah. That was my first guitar. But then when I started taking lessons and everything, the first real guitar that I could actually play was a Les Paul knockoff, and it was the Black Beauty. I think it was called a Bentley. And it had chrome hardware.
Nice.
It was just a little less shitty than the Epiphone that I started on. But, you know, I played that thing. And then once it really started to take off, my folks saw that I could do it. Because I'm not going to lie to you. Everything I got as a kid, as far as musical instrument gear went, my mom and dad got for me.
Santa Claus got mine.
They were real supportive.
Yeah, Santa Claus got my first. It was a Fender Stratocaster, cream colored, Jimi Hendrix, that off white.
Sure.
What was yours?
Sears model, $69.99.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man. What kind of shape is that? It's sort of a Jack White special.
Well, it was actually. Do you remember what Gene's bass looked like in 1977?
The
Like
Ripper?
the Love Gun bass. It's like the
horns.
Yeah, it has horns. It's not really like a Strat. The horns are a little pointier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Spectre or whatever.
That bass. Yeah. It was kind of that shape.
All right. Well, probably cost $69.99
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Shouse, what was yours?
It was this weird Epiphone electric that it was. There's no photos of it with me with it, so it's like it was like a purple color.
Vic, do you have a photo
kind
of that? Can you put it? I'm asking our producer if he can put up a photo of that. No, he doesn't have it.
I wish, please. There's none. My parents don't even have any. But it was this. It had a bar on it, and it had It was I think a typical. I can't really remember
Had
it.
a
It was
whammy
like-
bar?
Had a, but it wasn't a Floyd. It was a thing.
Oh,
So
sure,
if you
it's
looked
terrible.
at it, it just got out of tune, terrible. But yeah, it was a hollow body type thing from Epiphone.
So 2 Epiphones, a Strat, and a Sears special.
Mhm.
I love it. There you go. _ Sam Wall _ a lot of some underscores. I've
underscores.
never put an underscore in
neither.
any of my
Me
handles.
neither.
You know, Beaver Eater _ 69. What are you guys reading?
That's my email address. What are you talking about?
This is for the Nashville 3 in general, because they all kind of play in different bands, like in many different bands, but it's kind of some of the same lineups. We were talking about that last night. Was it? I kept on saying all these names. Was it Smoke on the Water? Or
Hair of the Dog.
Hair of the Dog.
Smoke on the Water.
The question is,
Straight up Alabama.
is it difficult managing all of the bands that you guys play in outside of Aces?
No.
No.
I don't think
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
No.
Because the phone rings and it's Gene or Ace and you're
No.
there.
I don't think of it as much like that. The way I took the question was it's just, man, I just feel like we're good at balancing spinning plates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What? Yeah. With
And-
mine, I get done for. It's pretty miraculous how this works out. I'll get home from an Accept tour, have a day to do laundry and repack, and leave out with Ace. Get home from that, have a day to repack, and I'll go out with Accept again. It just lines back to back. I've had to miss very few Ace shows for Accept shows. So
There
We're
it
lucky.
is. Philip Shouse, born on a Sunday. Everything works out for him. I'm so happy for you.
the unicorn.
Now here we go. Annie Toinette. Like Antoinette.
Antoinette.
With the meat cake.
Antoinette. Do you ever have tinnitus issues with your fretting hand, not your picking hand? And if so, how do you solve it? Do you ever have any issues with your, your solo hand?
No, I've had tennis elbow in both elbows, but it still didn't really affect my
That's from
playing.
his serve.
Let's
It's
talk
a
about
wicked
his tennis
serve.
career first.
Wicked
Yeah.
serve.
You know who also plays tennis? No. It's not Neil Giraldo.
Lars Ulrich.
maybe Neil does play, and that's your bond.
Well, I didn't get it from tennis. This is what it's called. I got it from holding a baby.
All right, well, RS Kiss. I wonder what fan they
Right.
might be of. How many times did you have to correct Gene or Ace on how they were playing something?
Well, Gene never. When we were doing the Ace solo record, I mean, we knew it pretty well, and
Yeah.
he's digging into that for the first time in his career. So there was a few things to show him on that, but
I had to do Gene once. We were doing Watching You, and he kept on jumping to the harmony, because there's a after a while, but he was going by the old version, by the demo, and he jumped early, and I'd go, no, not yet. He'd go, I stand corrected. So yeah, he knew that we knew the stuff kind of better than the older stuff that we.
Well, see, that was the thing though. Those guys kind of have it, and it's not good or bad. But when we walk into playing with them, we don't rehearse and get together, but we'll text each other and go, you have this, you have this, you have this. Mm-hmm. So we would literally know every part of every song walking into rehearsing with those guys. And, Gene's not sitting around listening to all that stuff, and Ace isn't. So that's how that would happen. It'd be like a refresher.
For Car Jam 21, we did that song off of Dress to Kill.
Which
did
one?
you play on that one?
I didn't know Love Her All I Can. No, it sounds great though.
It's Love Her All I Can, folks. Go there and listen to it right now. Not right now, after you listen to our podcast and watch the podcast, but check out Dress to Kill. Love Her All I Can. What a riff. What a great
man.
Great
which
play.
that one comes from Open My Eyes by the Nas.
Yeah, and Gene told
us that. That's Open My Eyes.
Somewhere right now there's a Nas fan going. I knew it.
I knew it.
I always knew it. Now finally, I've waited all this time for validation.
Yep.
We did it. It's true. Even cooler than correcting them was thinking we knew exactly what we were doing, and there were some nuances that might have been a little off that Gene corrected us on, and even Ace before we left with Rocket Ride. It doesn't go like that.
Yep. No, he would totally.
The rhythm part in Cold Gin behind the main riff, there's a D
Keith Richards
kind of Keith Richards thing. That it's really under there, and you can't really tell. And Gene showed us how to do that. I'm like,
it was
so when you look at me play my part in Cold Gin, it's
put your arm out like it's the neck. I mean, Gene would literally get around behind you, and and you're like, yes,
that's great because you learn it from the source.
Yeah,
you're learning those
really
things.
Cool.
And that's that X factor. I experienced it when I had the privilege to jam with the original Alice Cooper band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there's things that they play that of all the lineups that have come after weren't able to replicate because they weren't the guys playing it in the studio. But when they get together, it becomes, that's how you play it. And that's how you do it. It's this little, those X factor things about that.
That's so cool.
Well, I'll move on to Chris Vickery.
Hey, Chris. Chris.
You know Chris.
Well, sure, y'all played. Maybe. Let's see what he says. Sure, y'all played with Gene and Ace, but what was it like to play with the Goon Squad?
That was
the Goon Squad is a band that we have together with Alice.
And the Bullet Boys opened that night.
That's right, they sure did.
The Bullet Boys opened the show. They were the opener.
The Goon Squad can always. At least we have that in our career.
Absolutely, that was fun.
Is that bragging rights or?
Sure,
that's a story that's
it's just
pretty
a fact.
Funny.
It's
just
a
a
fact.
This is what it is.
Just a fun fact also, Mark Turina and I used to work at the same Guitar Center when I first moved to Los Angeles.
How'd that work out?
It worked out great. I'm in Alice Cooper and he's in Bullet Boys, man. It worked out great.
I would say we're not good.
We're not selling three sets of strings for $10. 3 for 10.
That's awesome.
Working off the jip.
What I remember about playing with the Goon Squad in Nashville, we just flew in that day from Ace Frehley. We went home, we showered, we ran to the show, and I had this. I have a '76 Gibson reissue Flying V that I totally did the Swarovski crystals on. And I walked on stage, and Roxie goes, "Ryan, who's your date?"
Wow, I wrote that.
And then we did Rockin' in the Free World. It was awesome, man.
Rockin' in the Free World, and ultimately somebody's top came off because that's what happens when you play. I don't know why. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. It's usually female, but there's been males as well. Mm-hmm. But whenever you play that Neil Young song, somebody's top will come off.
Take your shirt off.
It's uncanny. Is there a song that you guys play in your set where people's clothes come off?
Ever? Well, I used to be in a band that had a song called "Take Off Your Clothes."
Oh yeah, I was in that band too.
He was in that band too.
What was that band called?
Morningwood.
Yeah, that was
Chantel
and Vickery.
Yeah.
And Something rock.
New Rock.
New Rock.
New York Girls, Jet Setter. Yeah, that was fun.
Our
man.
crowd, our In the Trenches crowd has some homework. You can go check out Kiss Dress to Kill and the Morningwood album. I think it's just self-titled.
Self-titled, yeah.
Great record as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we had talked about that earlier. That you were on that. I love playing. What was her name?
Chantal.
Great vocalist, great front woman.
Yeah.
I'm moving on with more questions. Beat Rocks asks, what is the best advice you can give to up-and-coming guitarists?
Keep playing.
Play with anybody that you can.
Is stick-to-itiveness a word?
It is
It
now.
is today.
It is now. I would say the four of us have been super blessed, and I know we're all grateful for what we get to do. And stick-to-itiveness is like the best thing, man. Just remember, there's always somebody that's going to try to out-hustle you and out-practice you, and you just got to keep. That's the best advice. Don't stop. If you want to do it, don't stop. Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
I think so.
Don't stop stopping. Isn't there a movie about that? Don't keep on keeping
Keep on trucking.
Jesus.
There's a tattoo somewhere. Keep on Tony Danza's gonna
Oh, and if you're a guitar player, pick up singing.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you'll get more
Yes.
gigs being able to sing
You'll
than
sing.
not being able to sing.
Yes.
absolutely.
That is true. That is true. There you go. Great advice. This one's for me. If you could create a band with musicians from any era, who would it be? These guys. In Nashville. How about that? But I think I'd probably pick one from every era that I'm influenced by, which is 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
I pick, some classic rock because I do think guitarists from the 70s were just
Best.
better.
Yeah.
They're just their phrasing, they're all around guitar skills. And then something from the 80s because the energy, the vibe, there's punk rock and there's like new wave as well. And then 90s, you had sort of an amalgamation of both those because you had bands like Oasis that were going back a little bit and reaching from the Beatles, but then making a new sort of way with their own vibe. Yeah, I'd say one member from 70s and 80s and 90s. How about that? Bellinger. What was the first song you learned on guitar, and why?
Oh man, that's going to be tough. I think the first solo that I learned was "Love in an Elevator."
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because I had all the guitar
What was
magazines.
the first song?
I don't remember.
Really?
I really can't remember.
House of the Rising Sun. Because that's the one my guitar teacher taught me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And didn't it become a band of yours? Wasn't it Smoke on the
Hair-
Water?
hair-
Is somebody Smoke on the Water?
No.
Hot blooded was it?
Come on. I thought out of the gate we all would say Smoke on the Water.
Yeah. I don't remember mine.
I learned the chords to Sweet Home Alabama. That's the first song I learned.
All right.
But just the chords. Just sing it, just
This
on
could
my
be the
good-
first time that
It wasn't
I've
Smoke.
answered a question without Smoke on the Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
that seems to be like now I think the new international first song that people learn is Seven Nation Army.
Oh,
Yeah, that-
Sure.
Yeah,
I
sure,
can
sure.
see that.
I
Yeah.
can totally see that. Yeah.
Okay. Madeline, Alter, 60. Do you ever forget a song in the middle of a performance? And what song did you forget last, if you did?
I've forgotten lyrics.
Oh man, lyrics. I forget Strutter every night.
Man, and out of so many residency shows with the amount of material we were doing, man, there were some nights where I was just like, I don't even know.
Lyrics.
I don't know how this is going.
That is, the Nashville 3 did sort of cut their teeth a lot playing at the residency
Yeah.
and becoming what is it just called, the Rock and Roll?
The Rock and Roll Residency.
Suites.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you played the international set list, I like to call it.
Yeah.
A little bit of
Jeremy gets full credit for reintroducing the world to sensational Alex Harvey Band.
Yeah.
You really?
Yeah.
At Nashville,
You
yes.
didn't borrow that from John Corabi?
No.
Oh,
Whoa,
after.
okay.
He was after.
Corabi got it from you.
Well,
because he passed it on to me.
To be completely fair, so like all of those guys in Philadelphia, when they were younger, used to go see a band called the Dead End Kids in the late 70s, and they covered it. So he knew it, but no, he wasn't doing it in his band. He wasn't in Dead Daisies yet. So
And Chuck was then the original version
Yes.
of the Rock and Roll Residency
Garrick was.
doing.
yeah,
Hey,
Yeah.
I remember Karabi. You know what? Karabi must have introduced it on the West Coast because he loved that song, and you know. But Jeremy,
no, he always knew about that, but no, like you know,
Nashville.
he brought it, you know,
And then the Daisies kept it.
yeah.
we'll look for the new album between Jeremy Asbrock, Neil Giraldo, and John Karabi.
Yeah.
There it is. You got to sing it. We're adding members. It's great. Well, as far as me, nightly I forget the intro to Roses on White Lace.
Oh, no way.
When I do nail it, it's like a celebration throughout the front row. I always look like, I got it. I won. I think I've got it once or twice this tour, so it's great. Addy_amazing07, acoustic or electric?
It depends. During the pandemic, we started doing this acoustic thing because it was easier to get gigs. And then we realized how easy acoustic gigs were. You just show up with no gear and you play. And so
wouldn't it have been easier then if you were the Nashville 3? Because that would have been even a bookable gig. A Nashville 3 sounds like a very bookable acoustic gig.
Yeah, sure. And then we show up and play Kissin' Van Halen, and everybody's confused.
Yeah.
/Torino 17. By the way, thank you folks for asking all these questions and submitting them. I'm here with the Nashville 3, which is Jeremy, Ryan, and Phil. You're going to check out all their up-and-coming social media pages. Vic is going to put those up for us right now because we are having a historical In the Trenches episode right now because it's the first time we've actually all been together in a room. And of course, we're on tour together and we're having a good time.
So actually, if you're looking at Ryan's social media page, you're looking at ours. We're in the same venues, playing the same shows, hanging out with the same
we're
people.
All the same. Yeah, check them out. So here we go. /Torino 17. How do you overcome the anxiety of playing in front of so many people?
There doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
That doesn't exist. I get more nervous in front of small groups of people playing acoustic shows than I do in front of like festivals in Europe.
Same here.
I don't have none at all.
Right.
Just
Did
goes
you
away.
ever have it?
Yeah.
No, I was always pretty good with public speaking and things like that. I was always okay with it. I never really had a problem with it.
It was a good nervousness for me. It was exciting, and also just like the whole, like honestly, the first Gene thing, I was nervous not because I didn't think I couldn't do it. I was nervous because I literally thought about my bedroom as a kid and what I grew up doing and wanting to be able to not let that guy down. But I've never been like, oh, I can't do this. It's just, it's a good nervous,
If I ever got nervous, it was because somebody else in the band was making me nervous.
Exactly.
like a drummer, like, I'm nervous about that drummer tonight.
That's right.
So yeah, I've always said there's a thing called distress and there's eustress. And it's the exact opposite, where distress kind of like stresses you out.
Sure.
You're just, but eustress kind of hypes you up.
Sure.
Gets you, it's like an adrenaline rush in a way. And do you ever think you've never been nervous, in public speaking because you hide behind this Paul Stanley persona?
Exactly. I'm actually that's what my therapy's about actually. So we're about to crack through that. Big breakthroughs coming up when I get home.
We're having breakthroughs on In the Trenches. Of course we are. Hey, next question. At Balance Shara Ariel. I know I said that wrong, but you know what? That's a lot of letters. Do y'all do guitar tutorials? Well, y'all know that I do System 12 guitar method, 12 lessons, 12 notes, 12 weeks to learn the guitar. Do you do any
12-step program?
Yeah, well, it is. You'll get sober and you'll learn guitar. Learning how to play the System 12 method. What about any guitar tutorials?
I don't.
No.
I don't do any.
I gave Zoom lessons when we weren't playing music live.
Got it.
I did a
Do
few.
you still do them? If people were to reach out to you on your social media?
Sure. When we're not touring, probably. Yeah.
There you go.
I did a few at the beginning of the pandemic, but it was pretty much me showing how to play the songs wrong.
Yeah.
So it's not really worthwhile.
Listen, if you want to learn how to play Lick It Up, you just come right my way, all right?
If you want to not learn how to play it, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
That's perfect. So here we go with Kaz_44 best amp ever. Well, there you go. For me, it's very easily our sponsor, Hughes and Kettner. That's what I've been rocking. I've been rocking the Black Spirit 200 floor model, but old school. And, it's pretty much for me that guitar into an amp, if I had any amp. Probably an old Marshall
Yep.
are great as well.
Yep.
You know,
Same.
Yes.
I'm the
Same here.
Old Marshall.
Same.
We like orange too.
Yeah,
Orange amps.
orange are great. Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of orange.
I love it. Like I said, the Hughes and Kettner for me has opened up a lot of doors because it's a floor model. I get a 200-watt amp and the size of a floor pedal. It has everything in it. So the convenience of that is amazing. And you don't have to break your arm. Like, unfortunately, James.
Oh, God, I saw that.
Hope you're getting on the mend and feeling better. But you know what? That's what Marshall amps will do if they weigh too much.
He's a Black Star guy. So.
He's built.
Yeah, man. He's
I mean, have you seen that guy? He's huge. It's like, you know.
I commented. I said, I didn't know arms that big broke.
Yeah.
But I know that you guys use Marshalls on this tour, and it's full on amps and stuff.
Impact,
so how are you using 800s, 900s, whatever it takes?
801, 802, whatever it takes. Like I said,
any it'll do.
yeah.
I love it. Here we're going to move on to Martha's Free question: digital multi-pedal or analog single ones? Which kind of strap you prefer to use? Wow, that's two different questions.
That's crazy.
Well, when you say with
I kind of like digital straps.
Yeah.
that's a good hybrid. Those digital straps.
Analog straps are actually belts.
They're warmer. I don't know what that fucking means, but
I like analog strap locks, which are basically Grolsch beers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Red Grolsch things. Those are old school.
Those are the best ones. Carlino straps. We love Carlino straps. Those are great.
Love Carlino straps.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have a signature Richter guitar strap that you can check out, and they make very good straps as well. What about pedals? Do you guys use pedals? Do you have not so much?
None for me at all.
None for you. Your guitar into the amp.
In the end.
Really?
Yep. I like a little delay sometimes on the rhythm, but no, man, there's nothing for me. Like I always joked, like, you know, they show the whole drawing of the schematic that goes through the guy's rig and everything. Mine would be the boringest ever. The cord. The cable. In the amp. Yeah.
Well,
a tuner.
See, one of the most effective pedals of
The
all
Boss
time.
TU, whatever that.
I don't have one of those in my chain with bass. I plug it's right into the amp.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to.
And he's using the class, the SVT, which was the class.
Yeah, SVT Heritage.
Heritage.
Yeah, two of those, 2.8 by 2.810s.
Yeah,
That's great.
It was tuned before, and then the bass I have stays in tune great, and I never need to change it, so it's awesome.
You know, I have a flanger for Rocket Ride.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm a
Just a
liar.
flanger.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? This kind of hybrids into the digital strap and digital world question at Sarwat Forit asks favorite drive pedal. So overdrive pedals are something that we kind of always use. I've been using the TC Electronics for years. I've been using the TC Electronics spark plug. That gives me a little bit of a
I've got one of
boost.
those.
You have a spark plug as well.
Good.
But the old school ones, whether it's the MXR Distortion Plus or what other drive pedals do you like?
Man, he turned me onto one a long time ago. If you take the OCD pedal and run it on 18 volt instead of 9, that was my favorite pedal.
Is that a tip? Yeah.
Mhm.
Is
It's
that-
hot take right here. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Wagner makes a good one called Lagrange.
Well,
that's
Grange
good.
is
That's a good one.
great.
Really good
That's
pedal.
that's almost like an amp and a pedal. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
And that's not one of Ryan's bands.
Lagrange open for Hair of the Dog.
Not enough work.
Let's just get it right. that was a great bill. That night that Lagrange opened for Hair of the Dog. That was the best
great.
ever.
Which actually dovetails perfectly into this next question by Sun and Soda 77. Thank you for the 77.
Nice.
Ryan,
Yeah.
what was the name of your very first band?
Sweet Cheater. Sweet Cheater in Topeka, Kansas.
There you go. He is the king. They actually had Ryan Cook Day when we played there.
Yeah,
International Ryan Cook Day.
They did.
There was a parade. It was great.
What a good town.
How cool is it to play your hometown on this tour?
It was the best. And not only was I happy for my mom and my sister and everything, I was happy that you got to see what a cool place I grew up in, because they didn't do that just for me, man. rock and roll is really big in that town, and they were so happy to have Coop and the band and our band, and that's what I grew up in. People just being always on 10 about you wanting to see me in a band.
But it wasn't only the town. The venue that we played was where Ryan saw all his shows as a kid. So
man.
to say it was that place too.
Yeah, I used to run up those stairs at GA shows to try to get in and get the front
then
row.
it just happened.
It did.
Now it's happened.
It did.
And you're playing with one of those bands that you probably ran up the stage, up the stairs to go see.
Absolutely.
I love it. Ace Frehley and Alice Cooper on tour right now. You know what I noticed about that last question? The name of the person that asked the question is Son and No.77. So when they asked Ryan, it was probably me. So they asked Ryan.
Sorry. We should answer it.
We are the Ryans.
That's right.
But no, the name of my very first band was called the Stratocasters
Oh,
because it was
love it.
3 guitar players like yourself.
Look at that.
We were in a talent show and they asked us for the name of the band. We didn't have a bass player. We didn't have a drummer. We just had 3 guitar players, and we they asked real quick, and we looked at everybody's guitar necks, and like we said, Stratocaster. That was the best sounding name that we could come up with, and we became that. We won the Alameda County Fair talent show.
What
that
songs
day.
you play?
We played "Your Mama Don't Dance, Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll."
it.
Nice.
There you go. And I believe we played a little bit of Jumpin' Jack Flash. It was a medley back in then.
Nice.
So now that we're going with the very first name of your very first band, we'll pass it on. Jeremy, what was it?
Rock Bottom.
Rock Bottom.
R-O-K.
Ooh, no grommets over the O?
No,
Okay.
nothing that cool.
Phil?
Excalibur.
And tell them the song title.
We had one original song called Sword and Stone. Actually, in Birmingham, I grew up a little north of Birmingham, Alabama, and I didn't get to see the guys, but we had a three-fourths reunion of Excalibur at the show that night.
You were meant to have this Swedish connection because of the Viking, because you do have like this huge connection with Scandinavia that goes from your very first band, Excalibur.
I was waiting.
Pull the sword out of the rock and everything. Sword and stone.
I knew it back then somehow. So yeah,
It's funny. So what is that? Because I for the longest time I thought he's always associated with Sweden, Phil. But is he Swedish himself? But you kind of look Scandinavian. If you told me you were an Armand Armoth, I wouldn't think twice.
I toured with Stacey Collins, it's a blues act from Nashville, and we did a lot of touring in Scandinavia together. And on one of the tours, playing drums was Pontus Snib. So Pontus and I became fast friends and roommates on that tour.
Great guitar player. He should be on this guitar round.
He's great. He
and a great drummer.
And a songwriter and a singer.
Yeah.
The guy can do everything. If it wasn't nice, I'd hate him. But so we became fast friends, and that was the kind of introduction to that world. Then I got to know like Dragan and Nikke and all those, and Johan and all those guys. So,
but originally it's been Birmingham, Alabama.
yeah, a little north of Decatur, Alabama. Yeah.
Did you ever play the Nick?
Oh yeah, lots
We've
of
all-
Nick time.
we've all played the Nick.
Oh yeah.
Are you familiar with Wesley Willis?
No.
Okay.
Then I
You'll have to look that up on your own.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, we played the Nick with the Goon Squad, but I played it before with Electric Angels going through there, and it was the same club 25 years
Yeah.
later.
It hasn't changed at all.
It's right out of a Quentin Tarantino film, right?
Yep.
It's like some sort of you walk in, it's just a seedy bar, but just it's held together by tears and cocaine, probably.
Yeah. And filthy bathrooms. Yeah. Played there in January of 2020, right before the pandemic, and it's still just like you described it.
It's the same
It's
smell.
the same thing.
Broken dreams and cocaine
Exactly.
go hand in hand. Rita and Rox, great way to end these questions that you guys have all given us for the Guitar Roundtable. Do you still like to party?
I love to party.
Let's
Yeah.
go party right now.
Here we go.
There you go.
Honestly, that's-
Cheers.
That's kind of our
That's a
MO.
great question.
We're better at that than playing music.
That's right.
Love it. Well, a party would be nothing without our fan of the week. And this week, he has come to many of these shows on this Alice Cooper Ace Frehley tour. The In the Trenches fan of the week this week goes to who, Vic? Hit it. And there it is. It is Nick Seslar.
All right.
We've seen it at a few shows, and he's wearing a very nice shirt. Who the fuck is Ryan? And it's cut off, so it could be cool.
Nice shirt. I need one of those.
Wow.
I will buy that shirt.
You know, guys, we've been talking for a while. We're at the round table. It's not even really a round table, folks. You can
It's an
see it.
oval
It's
table.
more of an oval table.
Yeah.
Are we going to have to change the whole script and everything? About
No, if
It's
it was
our-
square, you might, but it's round.
That's fine.
It's still round.
Nobody's been breaking into the macadamia nuts. I bought them out especially for you.
Cashew
We
nuts.
got some
Liquid
liquid death. We got,
pistachio
I'm ready.
nuts.
Do you need a pee break?
Sure.
Well, let's take a real quick pee
Sure.
break, and then
Yeah.
we'll come
Refill.
back
That sounds
with
good.
just a couple more questions.
Sure,
And
we'll
we're
do a
at the
refill.
round table, okay? And then what we'll do, we'll just...
Oh.
I feel a little bit lighter now.
Man.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations again, Nick Seslar, for being our fan of the week. You've been hanging out with the Nashville Three. The Nashville Three, who are currently backing up Ace Frehley and Gene Simmons. Is there anybody else that you guys play with currently?
Not right now.
Together or separately?
The Talisman
Yes.
will be on Kiss Cruise next week.
Okay.
That's our acoustic act. And we'll be on Kiss Cruise 10.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that with the three of you?
Yeah.
Three of us.
Okay.
All acoustic.
Okay. Because I know Phil plays
Accept.
with Accept
Mhm.
as well, but that's not with you guys.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And Jeremy,
I play with Karabi when he has a band.
and you've played in the past with your girl, right? Your wife.
Yes, I do play guitar for her as well.
And because Chuck Garrick, in the Trenches fan favorites, he raves about that band.
Wow. Well,
He says,
well
"Great."
thanks, Chuck.
There you go. Shout out to Chuck Garrick. And we're all going to meet him in just a little while. If either tacos or sushi. Well, here we are with wrapping it up. And you guys want to find out more about Jeremy, Ryan, or Philip? What is your social medias, and how can people get in touch with you for Zoom lessons, perhaps? Anything more, or just to ask questions, or how not to learn a song,
Right.
or
exactly.
basically any hair care tips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where do you go?
For me, it's at the Philip Shouse on Instagram. 2 E's there. And if you're interested in my side hustle right here, I make these shirts. I've got these. I've got Black Labyrinth, Bones and Noses, Arrow Sniff, the Beagles, and more. Go to muttmerch.com, muttmerch.com.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Make
It's
shirts-
like Rush, but it's a dog.
It's a dog. I'll make dog shirts as well. So dog and people shirts. So go check it out.
Yeah.
Make
Wait,
great gifts.
You make people shirts dog shirts for people.
and for dogs too. I
You
have
make
dog
you make
sizes
dog
too.
shirts for people.
Yes,
Yeah.
and for dogs.
People shirts for dogs.
People shirts for dogs.
Yes.
There it
And
is.
they're all
shirts for
very
people.
oversized.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, make dog and people shirts. So go check it out. Great stocking stuff.
What about the cat?
You're supposed to- yeah, yeah.
What happened to the
That's
cat?
all right.
If you can get the shirt on the cat,
Yeah.
then I sell shirts for cats.
Yeah.
But that's on you. That's on you.
Ironically enough, though, it's Jeremy that has the coolest T-shirt collection. I think out of
Jeremy's got
everyone.
good
You're always sporting a new T-shirt. Look at even today.
Oh,
The
yeah,
one that you have on today,
Hollywood.
I'm wearing
Genie.
Genie.
which is Ryan's wife. Oh my girlfriend,
Yeah,
life partner. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Soap maker.
So,
hold on,
So, yeah.
hold on. Here. Vic, in my bag right over there, in the first zipper one, can you please get that? Because I've been saying no, the
Catch.
first zipper one, the in front. There you go. Dig into that. It's so great when we do live stuff because we edit everything out that looks so great. But no, this is just we're gonna leave this. It's like an Alfred Hitchcock.
that's
film.
it.
There it is.
Yep.
Ryan.
Yep.
I have been waiting to hype this up for the whole
Please.
tour. I just have not found the hotel bathroom and bathtub worthy of this Hollywood.
Well, you do have a bathtub here.
Yeah.
I did see a
And
tub.
it's time for a close up. Are you on the road? Are you in a band? Does your skin get dried out from that Holiday Inn or Hilton soap? Guess what you should use every night?
Eucalyptus mint. You know
The
what?
Hollywood Botanic.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
It is. That's what I got, because when I did the podcast with Rachel Bowen, whom you've played with as well, I did not know that Ryan Cook plays with Skid Row as well. But basically, Rachel and your Jeannie. I'm confused to say wife, life partner,
all correct.
Best friend.
Yep.
They collaborate on the soaps.
They do.
Right?
They do.
So, and I don't know how this all got from dog shirts for people and to his
because we're hawking our wares.
But that's what you do here on In the Trenches.
Actually, we're hawking Jeannie's wares right now.
Yeah.
So, but go check out her soap. This is the soap that Rachel was talking about as well, with his company and her company, and then they do some stuff together.
They do.
It works, and then you have a hat.
Gore Brothers, and you have a hat.
I do. This hat was a gift from Ryan early on in the tour.
Nashville.
And basically, here's the deal. What did I tell you? I said, get used to this hat because you're going to see a lot of it. Have I?
Yeah, you've worn it every day.
Every day.
I'm so thrilled because I'll tell you, I got it. And the truth and nothing else is the hat looked way better on the styrofoam dummy head than it looked on my head. So it set in my house forever. And then I saw Ryan all these hats, and I'm like, Roxie would look good in that hat. And how good does he look?
Yeah,
Looks fantastic.
I've been compared to styrofoam dummy hats my entire life. It's become a dream, a reality.
He looks good.
I have a gift to give to Ryan on camera right now. See that little contraption there?
I love presents.
I said I was going to do this because Ryan gave me this hat. I am now gifting this.
I love this.
It's your gift.
That's awesome.
Because he wears a lot of baseball caps like I do. Now you can put that. No, it's the
at the back.
You put your hat right in there, and you put it in the dishwasher, and you never have to have a dirty, soiled baseball cap again.
My brother.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
I love
Thanks
this.
for touring with
This
Alice
is
Cooper.
probably one of the coolest hats that I've ever worn.
Just use the hat. It's perfect.
It looks like the blueprint for a hat.
Or
if I was going to design a hat,
I'm going to play hockey. Thanks, Ryan.
Multifunctional.
All right.
So we were going through everybody's social media. So that was what you were doing, your wares. Jeremy, what is your social media?
It's just my name, Jeremy Asbrock, JeremyAsbrock on Facebook, and the Jeremy Asbrock, 2 E's on Instagram.
I see it right there.
Yeah.
I don't tweet so much, so
Yeah, I'm not a twit.
You're not a tweeter, huh?
No,
not really.
All right.
I guess I should get into that. I am Ryan Cook, 1969 on Instagram. Ryan Spencer Cook on Facebook. That's all you got.
That's perfect.
That's right.
That's perfect. What we'll wrap it up on is, like we always do, an inspiring quote.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can't believe. Wait a second. We didn't do the one that got away, Vic. Why didn't you remind me? Usually I yell at you through the internet, but you're right here. I'm trying to be quiet. You could have told me. Oh, Vic, I wish we had a Vic cam right now.
I do too.
The one that got away, we actually. We'd like to thank Kyler Clark, Alice Cooper assistant and photographer extraordinaire, for being part of that last segment right there. But the one that got away, honestly, the one that got away is a part of our podcast. So we try to do every week. But like I said, because we're a little bit unscripted this week and because we've been a little busy touring.
Sorry.
No, the one that got away is about a piece of gear, whether it be a guitar, an amplifier, possibly an effect that you had to sell or you had to get rid of, or it was stolen that you wish you had to this day. What is the one that got away for you first? Who wants to go?
I will. Had to sell it. Genuine Gibson J200 that was just
beautiful acoustic guitar.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, mustache tailpiece. I mean, it's just.
Where'd it go?
It went to Gruen's in Nashville in probably 2006.
Probably sold for about 18 times that.
18 times what I let him have it for. Love to have that back.
Is there one that got away for you, Jeremy?
Yes, I have 2. One would be my first guitar. Somebody stole it.
The Sears?
Yeah.
$69.99?
They left. a 93 Les Paul, but took that Sears model.
Wow. Okay.
But no, as far as like good gear, I had a 71 Hummingbird.
It's again an acoustic guitar.
I wish I still had
Was it
guitar.
that brownish Hummingbird?
It was
Beautiful.
red. It was a reddish
reddish
color.
one. Okay, yeah. Nice. Well, not nice because where did it go?
Well, I traded it and a 79 Fender Twin for a Vox amp. It was a 1980 V125. It was a 125 watt combo amp. They made them for 1 year.
Wow.
Which is cool.
Brian May approved, or what was it?
Man, it was a lot like a JCM 800. It had a master volume, which was like the one thing it had that the other amps didn't really have. I still have that amp. No, actually, I don't.
But it wouldn't be
But
the one that got away if you didn't have it.
The guitar was
It would
cool.
actually be the one that's still here.
The one that
the
I
whole
still have.
purpose of our segment.
The guitar is cooler than the amp, though. So I
All
wish
right.
I still had that guitar.
I love it. The one that got away?
I had this Gibson 335 that's vanished.
You know what?
I don't have it anymore. It just I don't know if it got stolen or if it somehow I moved
behind.
and got left behind somewhere. It's just gone. And it's just gone.
If anyone has seen Philip Shouse's 335, what is there any clues to it? What did it look like?
It was like an 07 and it was the dark kind of tobacco look, but it had the Jimmy Page wiring on it. Each pickup had a pull pop on it. All four knobs had a
And
pull.
it just disappeared.
I have no clue.
We
what
still
happened to it.
we were all around when that.
None. I have no clue.
Better left on.
All I know is
exactly.
we played the 5 spot and never saw it again.
I don't know.
What about
happened.
you?
The one that got away from me, it was probably that first Stratocaster that I was telling you
In the
about.
Stratocasters?
Stratocasters.
Because it was one of those situations where I basically sold it to a buddy of mine. It wasn't a buddy of mine because he obviously knew what he was getting because I wanted a humbucker. I wanted a double coil,
Sure.
and so I basically sold it for super cheap so I could buy an Ibanez Destroyer. Candy apple red.
Wow.
Because that was the
Yeah.
I had seen Rick Nielsen had one on Cheap Trick Budokan.
Phil Collin had the black one in
Yep.
photograph.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Ricky Medlocks was Ibanez Destroyer from Blackfoot. That wasn't an Explorer.
Really?
Yeah,
I know they made two different colors back in the day. I know the black one came out later, but the
Candy
two-
apple red.
Candy
I never
apple
saw
red,
that in
ice
my
blue.
life.
Man, you'd be better
Nice.
off with that guitar now than that Stratocaster. Those things are valuable.
Yeah, probably. But the thing is, we're talking about guitars. What about guitar players? And is there? I know it's the guitar round table or the guitar oval, the oval table. Do you have one guitar player that singles out above all the rest? Phil, you first.
Probably Eddie.
Eddie Van
Probably. If I had to go for
EVH.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Van Halen.
Halen, number one.
Same.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
2 for Eddie.
3. And I play nothing like it at all, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna go against the grain. Well, just be the one dissenting vote. I'll say Brian May. Best all around
Love
pound for
him.
pound.
There you go.
Love him.
And there you go.
Absolutely.
There you go. So for those of you that wanted to ask the question, who do these guys all like as their favorite guitar player? Eddie Van Halen.
Eddie.
And
I'll
man, we
support.
love to play Van Halen songs.
Yeah.
I love it when you guys do that sound check.
Man,
I think you guys were celebrating like
we
you
were
you
October
getting-
6th.
October
Yeah.
6th. You gave a little memoriam, and it was you did sound check.
Somebody
you
give
did
me a
some.
doctor.
Somebody give me a doctor, and you did some other ones.
We
too.
did
Dance
Dance
Night
That's
Away.
Right Away.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not, and during sound check, it was great. It was like a little mini concert
Mhm.
before
It
the
was,
concert.
yeah.
If you guys have been out on any of the shows with Alice and Ace Frehley, thank you very much, by the way.
Yes,
We've
thank
had a
you.
great time. We're out there again. Future. I know we're going to be out there again in 2022. Our schedule is booked with Alice, so fingers crossed. Everything goes on the up and up.
Yeah.
What's up? What's the future plans for the three of you?
We get home. So our last show is tomorrow night with you guys in Tupelo, Mississippi. Then after that, or whatever night, it's tonight, whatever it would be. Sorry, my calendar's messed up. But anyway, we can go home for 3 or 4 days. We go on the Kiss Cruise as the Talisman. We come home for a week, then we go back out with Ace. And our year with Ace ends on November 16th.
There
And then he goes out with Accept for a little bit. Is that right?
I've got some Accept shows this year, and in January we start in Europe and play all the way through March.
So, and then we start with back up in March.
So busy. Guitar players are working.
Yes.
You know? How do you guys get through life? If you have any quotes at all that you get through life to get you through all these gigs that have inspired you, because that's the way we go out on In the Trenches. Do you have any sort of life inspiring quote? Whether I say enjoy the ride,
I just always say try to be nice, man.
Be nice.
Just try to be nice. It has nothing to do with music. It has nothing to do with your job, or it could be, but it's just try to be nice, you know, and you'll get that back. I honestly believe that. I'm glass half full to a fault, probably.
No, you're very positive.
But
energy.
it's just try to be nice,
always
man.
exuding positive energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, we all kind of live on, a positive way of life, like whatever you think is generally what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, we all kind of live that path.
Keep them positive.
Yeah. Do something every day, even if it's a small thing that makes you a little bit better at something.
Yeah.
Just anything.
Like this.
Like this.
Like how fun is this?
This counts.
This is fun.
Vic, do you have any life inspiring advice?
No, I have not.
Take my glasses off. Show the
Oh!
magic trick. Show the magic
Oh my God.
That's our sponsor, CliC here. There you go.
I love it.
Great.
That's great life inspiring advice. We got our
I love
sponsor
it.
covered.
Those are awesome.
Oh hell, the bottle of vodka just hit me in the leg.
Ouch!
Oh,
There's gonna be plenty more.
Stupid Grey Goose.
Well, it's time to wrap up the Gibson. What the hell did I say?
Sure.
Gibson Grey Goose
We're
table.
talking a lot about Gibson guitars. We're
Yeah.
talking about Fender guitars. We're talking about using Kettner amps.
We did talk about Gibsons a lot tonight, didn't we? Because like the ones that got away first,
That is
Yeah.
true. Well, but they're part of our
Mine is also
life, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they are. I play the guitars because of my guitar heroes, and
Yeah.
we talked about that earlier about how we all play the types of guitars we play because
of the
our
guys.
guitars, you know?
Yeah, man.
But Eddie Van Halen, being that was your favorite guitar player all around, I don't see you guys playing Strat shapes. But little known fact that 335 pickup was it was a pickup from the 335.
But also the thing when I just got to say about Ed real quick was obviously he was just the way he played was just amazing, but just his whole body of work as a composer, and again the whole happy smiling thing, man, that was like
Rhythm guitar playing.
Ed just had everything, because you know what, Rudy Schenker, as far as rhythm guitar goes and the whole thing of the smiling thing, I fucking love that guy, and that's the guy that I want to be running around playing like. But
Ryan Cook is the Rudolph Schenker of Nashville.
I'll take it.
I like that. That's a
Yeah.
good guy. You know what?
You know why?
Because we all
Rhythm-
talk about
rhythm
rhythm
guitar-
guitar players. Let's talk about rhythm guitar players.
Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
What about Paul Stanley?
Paul Stanley's
Absolutely.
He's the
fantastic.
sound of Kiss.
Absolutely.
Right? He's the sound of Kiss.
Incredible.
And those-
A way underrated rhythm guitar player.
Yeah.
Really underrated.
Absolutely. But Rudy, go see the Scorpions. I know they're going to go out again pretty soon, and just watch that guy. He's the John Fogerty of hard rock. I mean, he changes guitars on every song, and he's like,
And they're all flying V's.
Yeah.
they are, but it's just there's a thing about Rudy, and he
Yeah.
is like, that is his band.
Yeah.
That is his band.
Mhm.
And I admire what he does, and I don't know how we got on this subject. It's probably the Grey Goose, but it's okay.
Well, no, because I think rhythm guitar playing is
An art.
it's
Mhm.
sadly
glue.
underrated,
And it's a
And
glue.
it's the glue of everything together.
It is the glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
It is
can't
a
play
glue.
rhythm well, there's a really good chance you can't play leads well either.
That's right.
So it's kind of the foundation of the whole thing.
Yeah, man.
This is all bonus stuff.
It is,
Yeah.
man.
Because
This is director's cut shit.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
the vodka edit.
like put an Easter egg.
Yeah.
In the thing. Oh,
Like Pete's rhythm guitar playing is the anchor of the Who.
absolutely.
Yes. You know who's the anchor of the Pat Benatar band rhythm guitar?
That'd be the drummer.
Myron Grombacher.
What's his name?
Neil has great rhythm playing. At least give me that he has great.
Yeah,
He's a great.
I love it.
He's a great rhythm
I like
player.
Neil.
as well.
And a lot of people don't know that is Neil on Jesse's Girl playing that solo,
Oh, the Rick
which
Springfield song.
I really like.
But you know who's a good rhythm guitar
First
player? Rick Springfield.
Oh yeah.
He's
yeah.
a Ray rhythm guitar player as well.
He is.
You know, he played with the GMP for a while.
What? Oh no way.
He played the GMP Roxie.
What about?
I've had, you know who else did?
Who?
Neil Giraldo.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
What about the current package that just went out? Rick Springfield and Sammy Hagar. That's a show.
They're touring together?
That is, yeah, they already did.
Oh, man.
Now that's a show.
Wow.
Rick Springfield and Sammy
Sammy
Hagar.
Hagar.
Because on Rick Springfield's Working Class Dog, they covered "I've Done Everything for You," which
Yeah.
is a Sammy Hagar song.
For you.
See how it all works out together?
It does.
And you know who played all the solos on the Rick Springfield album?
Giraldo!
This episode's obviously for you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just to get you and Jeremy in a room together and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Because he definitely made a way bigger deal about this than I
I ran with it the whole tour.
We had signs on our dressing rooms.
Yeah.
It
did.
was-
He
it
went
was
the
great.
distance.
Did you think I was going crazy at that point? I mean,
It
at
was
one
when-
point you thought he was my brother-in-law.
No, I just like, dude, I'm so sorry. Your brother-in-law or your cousin or some shit.
It was a late night band dinner that we had, and afterwards, that's what gave me the inspiration to have this episode.
But can I tell you, that night was steaks, shrimp cocktail, martinis, beer, sambuca. Sambuca.
Yeah.
was the
Desserts were delicious as well.
It's the only
Yeah.
thing we don't have on this oval table is sambuca right now. But I think we're going to go get it now.
We are downstairs.
Next week we don't have a guest right now. We don't have. It's a mystery guest.
Neil
right now.
Giraldo. Neil Giraldo.
Maybe he's going to call in. I don't know. After the Guitar Roundtable, where do you go? But it's been a pleasure hanging out with the Nashville Three. Again, it's Jeremy in the center. You got Phil right there, and you got Ryan Cook.
As he calls us, the salt and the pepper.
Yeah.
Right.
You be the pepper, you be the salt. Vic Chalfant, thank you as always. Federica, thank you for pulling it all together with the script. Thank the chat that you've been so amazing the entire episode. You've hung with all our changes, even our pee break. You
Right,
hang
yeah.
with us.
Thank
You
you.
know,
And thanks for the
it was
cool
great.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
cool
man.
questions. We'll see you hopefully again on another tour, on another episode. But until next time, I'm Ryan Roxie. Enjoy the ride. Later.
In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
And one of the things I'm hearing about from the fans, because at the end of the day, this Guitar Roundtable was put together by the fans. So they had a lot of questions, but they also had some comments.
Okay.
They are wondering why Ace is playing more Kiss songs than Ace songs. And I don't know if you guys have any inside information about that on this tour, but is there a reason why Ace is not playing, for instance,
Snowblind.
Rock Soldiers,
Rock
Yeah.
Soldiers.
Snowblind?
Philip's going to feel that
Classics.
one.
Yeah. When
In your Paul Stanley voice?
Well, when we got to 8th House, he pretty much had the set list already written out. So we got there, and he pretty much had it already kind of laid out somewhat,
Yeah, he
like
did,
what he
yeah.
wanted to do. We may have flipped some things and rearranged some orders, but it was mainly all Kiss tunes. But I think that for these crowds, and we're, you know, it's a Alice and Ace crowd. I think for this crowd, the Kiss tunes are going to work.
They're going to resonate.
Resonate more than even Rock Soldiers. I know people are, you know, the fans are like, "What do we do? It's insane." It's like nobody knows that, you know, except
Right.
you know. And
At the same time, I get that, but you guys made a great point, because when I put that out to you, like, why aren't you doing more of those Ace songs? You said, well, every Kiss song is
Yeah.
an Ace song.
and we
It
have
is.
50 minutes.
Yeah, 50 minutes
So-
for the opener. So we don't have a lot of
You
time.
have
Yeah.
to pack them in. And I think the set's been going over really well.
It would be
Man.
like Alice not playing Schools Out, or
Well, you
Nice
know what?
Guy, or
Right.
Poison, because you
Right.
got to play those.
You got to
songs,
play
right?
some of those.
And you starred in this movie because when I went to see you guys on the Motley Crue tour,
50
you guys are
minutes.
55 minutes.
What do you do?
I used to say to the
Yeah.
guys after your set, I had black eyes because there were so many hits in your set. It was just so good, you know.
Right.
And the
Why-
thing was, though,
why-
but you have
And there ultimately was one or two people going, why didn't he play anything off of Dada when he opened
Yeah.
up for Motley
Yeah,
Crue?
right. Exactly. Of course,
Exactly.
of course you're gonna get those
There's
people.
always that person.
you know,
That guy.
That
But
guy.
You know, that guy. We love that guy.
We
because
do.
that guy is the one that's watching us right now on In the Trenches and commenting right now.
Yeah.
Worst set list ever.
Yeah.
And because of that, guy, we are going to take a quick commercial break right now because this is a guitar roundtable. We haven't talked about guitars and amps just yet, but one of the sponsors of In the Trenches is a very reputable amp company. We would like to run that Hughes and Kettner ad company right now because I know we're going to talk about other amps and other companies. That's fine. But right now, Hughes and Kettner, take it away.
Hello, Ryan Roxie here, and I get a lot of questions lately regarding the current guitar amp setup that I'm using. Well, here's the answer. It's the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200 floor model. Because it's roughly the same size as a compact pedal board, it can fit on any stage or desktop easily. But don't let the size fool you. Inside it's packed with a 200-watt power amp, a ton of presets and programming options, built-in Redbox Direct technology, plus all the built-in effects you'd want. And the secret behind the tone? Well, that's the Bionic Spirit Tone Generator, which is fully programmable on the amp by using its built-in Bluetooth to connect to the app, which works seamlessly with both iPad and Android devices. But probably the best thing about the Black Spirit 200 is that it's easy to use. With its user-friendly setup, I managed to get a great tone going within just a couple of minutes of plugging in. If you're looking for that perfect, compact, all-around amp that covers you in the studio, on the stage, and even live streaming, this is the one. Check out the links for the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit below or in the description, and let's get rolling. Speaking of rolling, on with the show.